What's up? It's me, Chris.
And I'm Gene Black.
Wrestling in Session Revived. Episode... what episode is it?
Two.
Episode 2. I fucking lose track. Anyway, you know, there have been a few things going on since the prior episode we shot, and one of the things a lot of you may know, Kane. You know?
Kane's coming back with the mask.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the promos, the Kane resurrection thing. He drops a mask, it's on fire.
I'm interested to see what they try to pull off as, you know, the whole reason he puts the mask back on. What are they going to say? He got burnt again?
He got burnt again. Yeah, that's kind of like the interesting part about it. Like, I mean, I'm sure they're going to come up with like some legitimate storyline. I think they're going to try to like... I think what it's going to be is like he's going to realize who he used to be, because honestly, when Kane took his mask off, I believe it was back in 2003, they made him unmasked and untouchable. But then, you know, how all gimmicks, it doesn't matter who you are, they're going to fade away after a while. Some may longer than others, but...
Yeah, and every gimmick, even if it's older, you know, even if you enjoy it, it will get old eventually.
Absolutely.
But when Kane took off the mask, everybody, I mean, for years, there were, like, pictures on the internet, people wanted to know what he looked like, and it was so exciting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And when he took it off, I mean, I don't think people realized what they'd be missing after it, because, you know, he takes it off, first of all, it hardly looked like anything was wrong with his face besides a couple things they did.
Yeah, that night or whatever, he had, like, ashes on his face or some shit. What do you call it? And he had that curly hair. Turned around, chokeslammed Rob Van Dam. I remember the night he lost to Triple H and he had to unmask. And he was unmasked one time by DX, I think, back in 2000, but you didn't really get a clear view of his face.
And it was a really exciting idea, but after, you know, he wasn't the same character. He was still this giant guy. I'd be scared to fight him, but I think he was more intimidating with the mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, coming out and the fire when he gets to the ring and everything. So,
you know, people like not everybody. I mean, a lot of people understand, like, and they realize Kane's successes, but a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, it was all about Austin, it was all about Rock. You know, it was about other guys. You know, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the APA, of course, Kane, the Undertaker. There was so much other guys.
Dudley Boys.
The Dudley Boys, well, of course, you know, plenty and plenty. Ken Shamrock, we could, you know, the list goes on. I could go a whole episode naming classic wrestlers, but,
yeah,
you know, Kane, honestly, in my opinion, was up there with those guys. I mean, he was entertaining, and he just had a hit to him that
Kane was,
you know what I'm saying?
Kane was way up there, dude. I mean, I'd say the two big faces of the Attitude Era were The Rock and Stone Cold. No doubt, but Kane, The Undertaker, they're legends, man. There's no...
Absolutely.
You know.
And, you know, nothing, you know, I could go on days with you know, just chill and talk about wrestling's past, but right now, the present, and I'm pissed off that WWE got rid of John Morrison, and, you know, this contract was up. This is another guy who... they could have really done something good with. You know, he's got a lot of potential, very acrobatic. He could wrestle, you know. There's a lot of scumbags who can't wrestle and they just get a push. You know, you don't have to be the 6'2", 240-pound, big muscular guy to be a champion. No, not at all. I mean, this guy, I'm telling you, his technique is just phenomenal. And another guy, he was let go to waste.
Now, I'm newer at watching it again. I just started a few weeks ago watching the episodes, and I don't know much about this guy, but from what I saw, he was very good, especially for his size, like you said. Yeah. But you know, somebody that's so underrated like that, how they made him go out, it was almost like dishonorable, because for such a good wrestler, and you have him leave the way he did.
Yeah,
you know,
like you know, if he's like. You know, there's been talk that he may come back in a few months. You know, he's resting, but I don't know. If TNA, if you guys are smart and you guys want if you guys want to, you know, build around some superstars, pick him up. I'm telling you, he can do something.
Yeah, and
Ring of Honor, whoever, man.
And even if they had him, put him in like a more, like a higher position where he was his character was brought out more on the show.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I just can't stand, that they make the biggest deal out of him, is The Miz.
The Miz?
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's earned his right to, he started from the bottom. I understand that, but this is the guy's wrestling ability sucks. Yeah, his mic skills are great, but
I'd actually disagree, man. I mean, I'm The Miz and I'm awesome.
I know,
what is that?
I know, but he's charismatic, and that's.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they built plenty of superstars in the past off charisma from as early as Killer Kowalski. That's before Hulk Hogan. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this. There's 6-year-old kids watching me from freaking Thailand, but whatever.
Well, another guy. You could probably remind me who he wrestled this past week. That I've just seen like a complete 180 with this guy. When I stopped watching, Randy Orton was a heel. He was versing. He had a big feud going on with Rey Mysterio, and I went to a SmackDown and saw a title match between them two, but recently his character is just, to me, it's so different because I'm not used to it. But he's kind of this more quiet guy, more of a badass. And
yeah, he's just got that ruthless feel to him. He went from, what was it? He was the legend killer,
Yeah.
Back 2004 to 2008-ish. But now he's got this Viper persona, which I really like. Personally, I prefer him more as a bad guy. I think he makes a better bad guy than a face. But then again, he's good because he's not really a kiss ass, but fans cheer him.
I kind of like him this way, because.
Oh, I like him this way, but I'd rather see him as a bad guy with the same persona, the Viper. Doesn't talk. He's just got that aggression to him. He's got that savageness.
It was good, but I think the WWE needs a rebel again. Stone Cold was in that position, obviously, but if he can pull this stuff off, that'd be great, man.
And another thing, a lot of people, it seems like we can't go a damn episode without talking about John Cena, but what was very interesting on Raw was on Piper's Pit having John Cena on there. Basically what Roddy Piper was trying to do was kind of try to unleash something on him, because I think, in a way, if you really look at it, I think Piper's trying to make Cena become a bad guy.
You think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've been seeing it coming since I started watching it, man.
Yeah, I would much prefer it because, dude, people are gonna boo him regardless. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen to him? Yeah, maybe his merchandise is gonna drop a little bit. Little 5-year-olds and women are gonna stop cheering him. Soccer moms and 5-year-olds. Who gives a shit?
It seems like DJ. It seems like even with The Rock, it's not just that. Like you said, The Rock comes on and he's so much more overpowering, and the crowd loves him. And it all seems like it's just going in that direction. I could see John Cena making a change soon.
I hope so.
I don't know. Either way,
it's something new. It really is. You can't. Honestly, you really can't Jay, what's good, man? Something wrong with your camera? The point I'm trying to get across with this is, Cena becoming the heel. I think personally, you can't have two larger-than-life characters wrestling each other at the the mothership of all events, WrestleMania, of course, and both have them good guys. Somebody's got to be bad. Somebody's got to be good.
I agree.
That's what's good. That's what's going to get people to buy it. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, The Rock's coming back, but it's really, honestly, I'm not as excited as I was.
Because even sometimes when you have those dream matches of two guys that you just would love to see wrestle, and that if that happens, it's great and it's going to be a good match. But what really has to happen is in WrestleMania, with a bad guy and a good guy, what gets people's attention is you ultimately want this guy to win, and the majority of the crowd is going to want that one guy. And that's what, if you have a match and there's an equal cheer for both sides, people in my opinion would rather have it one guy's getting booed to hell and the other guys, everybody's cheering him on.
Exactly. And
that makes it exciting.
You know what I think would possibly happen? I think it would be in favor for Cena, like fan base wise at WrestleMania, because look at it this way: WrestleMania 18, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan at the time. The Rock, was the ultimate good guy. And then all of a sudden, man, we heard Hogan chants, Hogan chants, Hogan chants, and people were starting to cheer Hogan more than they were cheering Rock.
Yeah.
Hell, I was there at the event at 9 years old, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I was cheering Hogan. First off, I'm a huge NWO fan, but, I mean, that could happen. He was the bad guy, but he gained the respect. Maybe that's something Cena's got to do, because people are tired of,
Yeah.
Cena, he keeps getting shoved around. He keeps getting disrespected. I think he should put on a different character, showing that he's tired of it, tired of the hustle, loyalty, respect, because he's not getting it back. And you know what? He wanted good karma, but he's getting it back bad. Maybe you should have some bad karma kind of feel to it.
And like we were saying earlier, every gimmick eventually does get a little bit boring. People get used to it.
He's had the same gimmick for 2003.
Yeah.
Basically. So,
maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah.
And,
change is good.
Especially with The Rock coming back, like you were comparing it to Hulk Hogan, it ultimately resembles the fact that if you have a guy that's been in the industry longer, more famous all around. I mean, The Rock was huge, but you take Hulk Hogan and throw him in there.
Yeah,
it's the same deal.
Yeah, that's what happened basically. I mean, yeah, but I'd like to see the change of Cena, but only time will tell, and it depends on the writers, not us. If it was up to us, we'd have Cena as the bad guy,
But it also builds suspense as you see it changing, not so rapidly, but more every week, a little bit more, and eventually it should break through. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised.
How do you think? I mean, basically, people really they really don't care. I mean, how do you think Cena could do something legitimate to become a bad guy, to have people hate him? What do you think he could do? Tell me what you think, and I'll tell you what I think. It's
a good question. Maybe you guys could actually leave some of those in the comments just to get an idea.
Good idea, dude. Good idea. I think that's what I think you guys should do. I think you guys should actually put your feedback in. Absolutely. And what do you call it? With honestly, I think what would happen was, with Cena becoming a bad guy, I think he should screw over CM Punk.
You're right, man.
Yep.
That's what should happen.
We're about to cut it short now, but stay tuned for part 2. I'm Chris.
I'm Gene Black.
Wrestling in Session, episode 2, part 1.
Thanks for watching, guys.